Jane talked about the housing market and its role in inflation, right? But in recent months, housing affordability has been a top conversation in Washington. From 50-year mortgages to a nationwide ban on Wall Street investors. Now, lawmakers from both parties are moving on a plan they say could ease housing costs by building more homes and cutting red tape.
Let's bring in our chief business correspondent, Taylor Young. Taylor, we know Congress is talking about this huge bipartisan housing bill. So how is it supposed to work?
Yeah, so this bill addresses something important that we have not seen addressed in those other promises that you just mentioned, like that 50-year mortgage, and that's supply. So right now there are not enough houses being built in the United States to keep up with demand, and that shortage has unfortunately led to those higher home prices that we've seen that have really stayed kind of at the point where they are. So this bill is rather simple. So it would cut the red tape and kind of streamline the process to be able to build homes. That includes streamlining the permit process, modernizing housing programs, and actually giving communities money to be able to build homes faster and cheaper.
Okay, we've got a whole lot of construction going on here in Charlotte. So if this bill is supposed to help with affordability, how long would we actually, or would it take to actually see any change?
Yeah, and I think unfortunately for the home buyers out there who have been waiting on the sideline, I mean, this is not an overnight fix, right? Especially because we are talking about construction here, which takes time. But even if this bill were to be passed tomorrow, we would not automatically see housing prices drop or stabilize, right? But the goal here is for this to be a long-term fix. Again, this really comes down to supply and demand. Once we get that supply up, that kind of reaches up to the point where we have so many people wanting to be in homes, right? Once we get enough homes out there to kind of match that demand, that's when you start seeing those prices come down.
Taylor, if it does pass, what would the impact be here in Charlotte?
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte is special, right? Because as we know, we've talked so many times about how many people continue to move here. I mean, the housing demand in Charlotte is astronomical. I mean, we really lead the nation in the amount of people moving to a metropolitan area. And while Charlotte has done a really good job at upping the amount of building being done, I mean, we have seen a significant amount of construction, as we've talked about too, not only with rentals, but residential housing. It's still not enough, because we're talking about over 117 people moving to this region every single day. But with a federal push to kind of streamline the process of building these homes faster, eventually we could see home prices dip.
Okay, so what's next for this bill?
Yeah, so Congress has passed this bill last week. The next is to kind of negotiate with the Senate, who also kind of passed a similar bill back in October. So the next step is for those two committees to really negotiate those two bills together, kind of come up with a plan that everyone, as well as the White House, can agree on. But because these have really have had bipartisan support, there are a lot of people on both sides of the aisle that support this package. So I do think that we could potentially be seeing an agreement relatively soon.
Hey, there we go. An agreement on Capitol Hill.
Wow.
It could happen. We'll have to see. Taylor, thank you.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.